In 2017, The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild redefined open-world gaming, earning multiple Game of the Year awards, including from the Game Awards, IGN, Polygon, and the Game Developers' Choice Awards. Its approach to exploration and non-linear storytelling captivated players, offering an unprecedented level of freedom in traversing Hyrule's massive world. With its intricate physics engine, dynamic weather, and intuitive puzzles, it breathed new life into the Zelda franchise. The game's systems weren't just innovative, but influential, with the titles like Genshin Impact borrowing heavily from its climbing mechanics, gliding, and exploration style. These have become iconic, so much so that Breath of the Wild set a new standard for open-world games, forcing competitors to rethink their designs. One of the game's more controversial features, the weapon durability system, kept players on their toes, balancing constant exploration with resource management. While some found it frustrating, many praised how it kept the gameplay loop fresh and engaging. Its lack of hand-holding, paired with a minimalist narrative style, allowed players to truly immerse themselves in the world. Hidden shrines, powerful enemies, and secret locations peppered across the landscape gave players a rewarding sense of discovery, an aspect few other games of its generation could match. Even years after its release, Breath of the Wild remains a benchmark for game design, making it not only one of the best entries in the Zelda series, but also a genre-defining masterpiece that continues to inspire new titles to this day.
All right, move on through. Thanks.
The Last of Us has left a permanent mark on gaming since its release in 2013. It took home Game of the Year awards from prestigious outlets like the Game Awards, BAFTA, IGN, and Polygon. This game isn't different just because of its brutal, realistic gameplay. It's also because of its deeply emotional story that kept players invested in every step of Joel and Ellie's journey. It's set in a post-apocalyptic world ravaged by a fungal infection. The devs managed to craft a compelling narrative filled with moral ambiguity. The attention to detail in character development is remarkable. Joel, a hardened survivor, and Ellie, a young girl carrying the hope of humanity, aren't your average protagonists. They were flawed, deeply human, and their bond was central to the emotional punch of the game. The gameplay, which blended stealth, resource management, and gritty combat, kept you constantly on edge, with every encounter feeling intense and life-threatening. The legacy of The Last of Us is hard to ignore. It influenced countless other titles, and even earned a highly acclaimed television adaptation. It's a game that changed how stories could be told in interactive media, proving that games could be as emotionally powerful as the best films or books, if not more.
Holy shit. Is that your people?
What's left of them?
The Legend of Zelda: Tears of the Kingdom took 2023 by storm, claiming multiple Game of the Year awards from the Game Awards, IGN, and Golden Joystick Awards. As a direct sequel to Breath of the Wild, it expanded the original game's beloved mechanics, while introducing fresh elements that kept fans captivated. Exploring the open world of Hyrule became even more thrilling, thanks to new vertical dimensions, like floating islands and deep caverns. The Ultra Hand and Fuse abilities allowed for inventive gameplay, where you could build custom weapons and contraptions to tackle enemies and environmental puzzles. This dynamic system encouraged creativity in how players approached the game, adding a fresh layer of depth to the experience. The sheer freedom and endless sense of discovery made Tears of the Kingdom a truly epic continuation of the franchise. From huge, epic boss fights to intimate character moments, the game managed to balance grand-scale exploration with tight, compelling storytelling, drawing players in with every new area unlocked.
a shimmer.
Yeah.
The Last of Us Part 2 pushed boundaries in 2020, earning Game of the Year awards from the Game Awards, Golden Joystick Awards, IGN, and Polygon. This sequel took what made the original game so good and made it even better. You're thrown into a world ravaged by infection, but it's the emotional devastation that cuts deeper. The game's pacing is relentless, switching between high-stakes action and gut-wrenching story moments. Characters you grew attached to? They're not safe. And Ellie? Well, her quest for revenge is brutal, taking you through some of the darkest corners of human nature. What really makes The Last of Us Part 2 remarkable is its attention to detail. From the dynamic combat encounters to the incredibly lifelike environments, everything feels intensely real. The game's narrative structure, bouncing between perspectives, adds depth to the story in unexpected ways, making you question your own moral compass. You can utilize Ellie's stealthy takedowns or Abby's raw strength. Either way, the combat is both visceral and strategic, keeping you on edge throughout. And those quiet, emotional moments between the characters, they hit just as hard as the action-packed ones, leaving you emotionally drained but sleepless, compelled to see what happens next.
Now what?
I found a note back there. Had some codes on it.
I'll be right back. Okay. Oh boy.
Uncharted 4, A Thief's End, delivered a cinematic action-adventure experience that redefined what a blockbuster video game could be. Released some 8 years ago, it swept the Game of the Year awards by earning accolades from the Golden Joystick Awards, the Game Awards, and IGN, among others. This was Nathan Drake's final journey, and it didn't hold back. The game brings you into beautifully crafted environments, whether scaling cliffs or exploring ancient ruins. The attention to detail in every location was jaw-dropping, adding to the feeling of being part of a treasure-hunting epic. But it wasn't just about the adventure. This game had heart. Nathan Drake's personal conflicts, his relationship with his brother Sam, and the toll that treasure hunting takes on his life all gave the story a level of emotional depth that kept you invested. Combat in Uncharted 4 was exhilarating. You could choose to go in guns blazing or sneak through enemy-filled areas with stealth and tagging, adding variety to every encounter. And the set pieces, pure adrenaline. Moments like the Madagascar car chase stuck with players long after the credits rolled. It's no surprise that Uncharted 4 is still considered one of the greatest video game finales ever, blending action, storytelling, and character development in a way few games manage.
Get out of the way! Whoa, whoa, whoa! Careful! That goddamn trucker!
Elden Ring was a love letter to fans of Souls-like games when it launched in 2022, snagging Game of the Year awards from the Game Awards, IGN, and Golden Joystick Awards, just to name a few. Created by From Software and directed by Hidetaka Miyazaki, it took the unforgiving difficulty and rewarding exploration the studio is known for and expanded it into a vast open world. The lands between, where the game takes place, is full of mysteries, hidden areas, and challenging enemies, all waiting for you to uncover them. There's something special about discovering new places and terrifying bosses lurking in the shadows. The vast landscapes are not just beautiful, they're also dangerous. Every corner brings potential rewards or a brutal demise. Elden Ring combines tight combat mechanics with a rich, dark lore. The bosses are brutal, while the world is massive and intricate. And despite its challenging difficulty, it pulls you in with the promise of great triumph for every hard-fought victory. It's not just another Souls-like game, it's an experience that keeps rewarding your efforts, the perfect blend of open-world freedom with From Software's signature depth in combat and exploration. Red Dead Redemption 2 is a masterpiece that swept Game of the Year awards from the Game Awards, IGN, Golden Joystick Awards, and Games Radar in 2018. Developed by Rockstar Games, it's an epic journey through the American frontier, with visuals that will leave you stunned and a story that pulls at your heartstrings. As Arthur Morgan, you're an outlaw in the Van der Linde gang, navigating a world in transition. It's not all about gunslinging. The narrative dives into loyalty, betrayal, and survival, creating some of the most complex and relatable characters seen in gaming. The sheer level of detail in the game is astounding, from the way Arthur's beard grows over time to how the weather impacts gameplay. What fans love the most about Red Dead Redemption 2 is its sense of realism that seems to permeate everything. Each choice you make has consequences. Will you rob the train or help a stranger in need? The open world feels alive, with random encounters and hidden treasures at every turn. From the wild, untamed landscapes to the bustling towns, it's an experience that stays with you long after the credits roll.
You know I ain't much for tough talk. I've had to quiet the occasional.
Welcome, welcome. Come on in.
The Witcher 3 is the kind of game that leaves a lasting impression long after you've finished it. Released in 2015, this open-world RPG from CD Projekt Red picked up Game of the Year awards from the Game Awards, Golden Joystick Awards, IGN, and Games Radar. As Geralt of Rivia, you'll dive into a world filled with complex choices, stunning environments, and unforgettable characters. What really makes The Witcher 3 shine is the depth of its storylines. Sure, the main quest is phenomenal, but it's the side quests that often steal the show. You'll stumble upon gripping narratives hidden in the most unexpected places. From haunted villages to monster-infested forests, the choices you make matter, and the consequences, they're not always what you expect. The game's world is richly detailed, from its breathtaking landscapes to its dynamic weather system, all working together to make every moment feel alive. Combat is challenging yet rewarding, with swordplay, magic, and monster hunting mechanics blending seamlessly. Even years after its release, The Witcher 3 remains a benchmark for RPGs, and its expansions, Hearts of Stone and Blood and Wine, only add more to love. The Elder Scrolls V Skyrim may have launched in 2011, but thanks to its thriving modding community, it remains one of the most beloved RPGs today. Mods have been the lifeblood of Skyrim, taking the game beyond its original boundaries and keeping it fresh for over a decade. Among the best mod lists is Nulvus 6. It drastically improves the game's graphics, realism, and overall immersion. Simply put, it turns Skyrim into a modern AAA title, offering enhanced visuals, reworked quests, and refined mechanics. Skyrim's beautiful world is now outdated, but community-driven mods elevate the game to new heights. Whether it's through revamping the game's textures, adding new landscapes, or even tweaking the mechanics of combat and magic, mods allow players to truly tailor their adventure. And it's this limitless potential that keeps fans coming back year after year. The ability to mod the game endlessly makes Skyrim feel timeless. No other game comes close. Despite being more than a decade old, Skyrim has won numerous accolades, but back in 2011, it won the Game of the Year award from the Spike Video Game Awards, GameSpot, and IGN. The community's passion ensures that Skyrim is more than just a game. It's a continually evolving world.
Hells. Something just woke up down here.
And finally, Baldur's Gate 3 has taken the gaming world by surprise, cementing itself as a modern RPG masterpiece. Developed by Larian Studios, This massive role-playing game redefines player choice, bringing an immersive narrative where your decisions genuinely shape the story. The turn-based combat, lifted from the Dungeons & Dragons system, combines strategy with creativity, ensuring no two encounters feel the same. From its early access days, it was clear this game was special, and when it launched in 2023, it started racking up Game of the Year awards left and right. Notably, it claimed victories at the Game Awards 2023, Golden Joystick Awards, and other media publications, all praising its depth, scope, and emotional storytelling. The level of detail in Baldur's Gate 3 is insane. From the vast open world, brimming with quests and secrets, to the fully realized characters that draw you into their lives. It's not just a game, it's a story you live through, with every choice you make having lasting consequences. Plus, with multiplayer options, you can experience it all with friends, adding another layer of complexity to the adventure. If you're into expansive, choice-driven RPGs, Baldur's Gate 3 delivers on all fronts, and it's not just another video game you'll play. It's one you'll always remember.